Hello and welcome to Optimistic Wargaming, and today I'm going to be playing some Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress. So this is a game that I'm a huge fan of. I've played it quite a few times with a bunch of friends. However, with the current situation as it is, I can't do that. However, the game does have rules for solo play. Now in this video I do go through how the game plays very quickly. I say quickly, it's a bit it's very wordy, but it's easy to learn once you actually see it played a few times. So keep that in mind. The very start of the video is a bit slow, but the future videos will hopefully be faster. Alongside of this, I will also on the screen have a tracker, which will be probably in the top left of your screen, which will basically keep track of the initiative as well as the state of the explorers. So without further ado, I will go through basically what Blackstone Fortress is and my initial explorers. So we have got Ryan and Rouse, the two rattling twins. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They run around as a pair. They run around. They snipe things. They're here for money because, you know, rattlings. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Nice little models. Next we have the robot, UR25, Beep Boop Not a Man of Iron. He's here because he wants to know how to make more robots, which won't at all go badly for the Imperium. Next we have got the Kroot Tracker, Dayak Grek, who is here because he is being paid by the priest to be here. He's a pretty radical priest, considering, you know, the Imperium's rather xenophobic, and he's just like, yeah, I'll just recruit a crew, why not? And then finally, we've got Pius Bourne, who is here to, you know, burn some heretics, because, you know, ecclesiarchy. We then have our four hostiles. We have got the Negavolt cultists, who I will refer to as Zappy cultists throughout the campaign. We then have some traitor guardsmen. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They are the sort of swarm enemy of the fortress. Then we have got the spindle drones as I try and fail to grab them. There we go. These are the fortress's inbuilt defense system that the robot wants to know how to make and reproduce. And then finally, we have got the ghouls. Now, yeah, these are the webway predators? Do they hunt in the webway? Either way, they're running around in the fortress. There's a bunch of them in the fortress. Their behaviour table tends to be either really aggressive. Try and get it into the centre. There we go. They're either really aggressive or passive. Those are the models that we start off with in the fortress. And here we are, ready for the final step of setup. Now what we do is we alternate placing the explorers one at a time on the hexes. You can have 2 explorers per hex, with each of the halflings counting as well, half. I will start off with the Kroot and the robot on the front. We've got the scout and the tank. We'll put the 2 rattlings in this bit of the lift here, keep them together, and then we'll put the Pius Bourne, the Zealot in that hex. So once we have set up on the Maglev transport chamber, we read aloud the following passage, which is in the rules. We have to do it. The explorers have entered one of the Blackstone Fortress's Maglev transport chambers and typed an access code into its control panel. The chamber lurches into motion, taking the explorers to an unknown location, somewhere deep within the fortress. Their objective is to discover 4 clues and return safely to Precipice. So basically the mission is we have to find clues. Every 4 clues we find, we can attempt a stronghold. Once we defeat 4 strongholds, we can go to the hidden vault. Once we open the hidden vault, we complete the quest. How do we find the clues? Well, loot. So we've got this deck of cards here, these discovery cards. As we do combat, we gain discoveries. This can be money, it can be clues, or it can be items that are important to the individual explorers. Now, to start off, what we do is we draw the top card of the exploration deck. Now, this consists of 4 combats and 4 challenges. So, without further ado, we will draw the top card of the exploration deck. It's a combat. So, I will set this up. I'll probably set it up that way, given the table that I've got. And I will come back to you after we have set this up. So here we are after our initial combat set up. Now as you can see, I've set it up as the card describes. So you will notice that there are some triangles, 1 and 2 as labelled on the combat card. Now, those are our looting spots. However, that's also where hostiles spawn. So what I do is I draw cards, depends on what the how many items there are, how many loot items there are, and then the corresponding number on the card represents what hostile group is present. So, for my first group, I drew 4 Urgles, and for the second, I drew 2 Spindle Drones. There's some Urgles, and there's the Spindle Drones. Now, over here, we have our Explorers. Now, before the combat starts, we have a special ability on the Kroot. The Kroot has a special ability called Tracker, because he is a scout, and that is what scouts do. What this means is he can make a free move before the game begins, and place a trap. So, I take the Kroot, he can move up to 3 hexes. So I'm going to move him up 2, because I don't want him getting into, or do I just move him 1? I'm going to move him 1. Yeah, I'm going to move him 1, so I'm going to go 1, 2. No, I'm going to move him 2. I keep on saying I'm going to move him 1, I'm going to move him 2. And then I place a trap. Now you'll also notice that we have these. These are portals. We have 2 here, and then we have 1 up there with the Urgles, and 1 down here with the Spindle Drones. Now the way that this works is we start in a maglev chamber, we have to end in a maglev chamber. The maglev chamber can be called from any of these portals. However, this is also where hostiles reinforce. So the game plan is to leave somewhere. I reckon we're probably going to go, we'll see. So first of all, I draw the initiative card, and I will be back after drawing those. I will put them somewhere on the screen so you can actually see what the initiative is. So, how do individual turns work? So first on the initiative queue is Pious Vaughn. Now, what we do is we consult their card. First of all, we roll various dice for the characters. Pious Vaughn rolled 2 6s, a 2, and a 4. Now we have the shared pool of dice. Now we have these that were not duplicates. So we rolled a 1, a 6, a 5. We also rolled 2 2s off camera. The way this works is all of these dice are our actions. We can use up to 2 from the Destiny pool per character, which is to stop people from just nicking them all. And then we can use these ones. We then have the character sheet here. So we have the move value, which is the number of hexes they move, the defense, which is how they are good defensively, their agility, which is used for various things. Sometimes it'll tell you to make an agility test, and your vitality, which is how you heal. Now, we also have our weapon actions there. What these are is these are abilities that we can use throughout the game to attack, and then we have our unique abilities. Now, the plan for Pious Vaughn here is I want to remove these. I want to remove the Spindle Drones. As much as I like the models, I don't want them here. I don't want them attacking me. I don't want them doing anything. So, what we're going to do is we're going to spend the 2, first of all, to move. So, she has a movement of 3. She starts here. She goes 1, 2, 3. She cannot see anybody, so line of sight is drawn from the centre of hexes to the centre of other hexes. So I'm going to spend this 4 to do it again. I'm going to go 1, 2. Now, she is going to fire. Now, all your weapons have a value next to it, which is the value required. Now, I have 2 6s, and Cleansing Flames requires a 6. So, I'm going to use my Cleansing Flames on the Spindle Drones. Now, what I do is I choose the action and I check the range. So, from Pious Vaughn, they are 1, 2 hexes away. So you don't count the one that she's in, but you count the others. Now you will see that there is these thick white lines here. Those represent cover. However, as it says in Torrent, ignore cover for Vindicator Flamer or Cleansing Flame attacks and make an attack roll against each other hostile. So when you make a weapon action, what you normally do is you pick one of the hostiles in the hex to roll the attacks against. However, Pious Vaughn, is allowed to do it against everybody. So against the first Spindle Drone, you don't add them together, you pick whichever one's the best. So we have got, that is funky, we have got a failure and a critical success. So what that means is he takes a grievous wound, which is represented by these tokens. There's also regular wounds, which is on the other side. A grievous wound to a hostile counts as 3 wounds. The spindle drones have 2 wounds each, which means that the number of wounds is exceeded, so the spindle drone is removed. We then roll for the next one, because it's cleansing flame, it hits everything, because it's fire. So she gets 2 successes. However, we pick one of them, so we do a regular wound to the other one. And that was a use of this 6 here. Now, spindle drones have a rule where the more they die, the more dangerous they become. So they start at threat level 0, they are now threat level... That's upside down. 1. There we go. I don't know why the triangle's pointing down for that sign, but it is. So the hope was to kill both of them. And then get maybe a shot on these guys. That is likely not going to happen. So, I am going to pick... do I use the Destiny dice now? I'm going to have to think about this. Okay, so I have decided I'm going to be greedy with Pious Born. I'm going to use this 6 off the Destiny pool. And I'm going to set fire to the spindle drone again using Cleansing Flame. Cleansing Flames. Yeah, there's multiple flames. Okay, that is definitely dead with a double crit. That technically means the spindle drones go up to threat level 2, but that might not matter. What we then are going to do is we're going to spend the 1 on the Destiny pool to go 1, 2 to here. This now means that we are 1, 2, 3 away from these Urgles, and we're going to use her last dice, this 6, to Cleansing Flame again. So, the first attack does a crit, so that's 1 dead. Against the next Urgle, another crit, that's another death. And against the third Urgle, does a wound. That is disappointing, as people who play Blackstone Fortress know about Pious Born. So I wanted her to kill the third one because of her special ability, because of her secret agenda. These are basically the reasons why the explorers are here. In this case, she just wants to set fire to the world. She wants to kill 3 hostiles with a single Cleansing Flame as action. However, she has failed to do so, because there's that one guy left who has taken a wound. Urgles are 3 wounds, I believe. So, that is Pious Born's turn. Now, after a explorer has finished the combat, they roll the d20. And they consult the number of wounds that they have killed. So, Pious Born has killed 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 this turn. So I roll the d20. I need to roll less than or equal to the number of wounds that she inflicted to gain inspiration. She rolls a 4, which means that she gains an inspiration point. Now, inspiration points are used for various reasons, most of which are useless. But, you know, they're a nice little thing to have. The main use for them is re-rolling dice. That's the main use for them. But she has gained that, and we put that on her character sheet. And that is her turn done. So next, we move on to the next fighter, which is Ryan Rouse. Alright, so I've looked it up, and it turns out that Ryan is a sniper rifle and Rouse is the grappling hook rattling. Not that that really matters, but I thought I'd look it up. I looked in the book and it tells you. It actually does tell you. I've looked through their dice and I think I know what I want to do. So, I'm going to start off by using the grappling hook. So that requires a 6, which they have on their card, and that allows the rattling to go to anywhere over the line of sight, which is this hex here. Now, as mentioned, we want to leave, and I've decided that I'm going to go with this one since Pious Born secured the area. We're going to do that. Now, cold lift is a 4+ action, so I'm going to do that. So I remove this and replace it with a lift. Ding! There's the lift. So that's the 6 and the 4 used. Now, the rattlings have a ability called Double Team. What this means is if I use a 2+ action, they can both do something. But it has to be either a move or a shoot of their pistols. Now, as you can see, there is cover here. So actually, from Rouse, this Urgle will have cover. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the 1 that they have on their dice pool to aim, and I will spend a 3 to double team. So, starting with Ryan here, I will move 1, 2. And then Rouse will shoot his stub pistol at the Urgle. So an aim action basically means that you lose an additional dice, but you ignore the cover. So what cover does is cover reduces the value of a success. So success becomes a fail, a crit becomes a regular. So I will roll for it here. And Rouse misses, which is why Ryan has a sniper rifle. That's why. That's why you don't get it. That's why your brother gets it. Now I have a 5 left in the pool, but the aim only works for that attack. So there's no real point, because he can't actually see the other Urgle. Can see it, and it's not going over the cover. So you know what? I will spend that last 5, because I don't think anybody else... If we kill that Urgle, this is really good. So I roll the d6, and I fail. Okay, good job. This is why you're grappling hook, not sniper rifle. And that'll be it. So they didn't actually kill anything, so don't roll for the event. Next is the hostiles. Now I will show off how the hostiles work. So we start off with hostile 1, which is the Urgles. So the first thing that we do is roll for reinforcements. So if any models are missing from the group, in this case there's 2 Urgles missing, because we killed 2 from Piesport. She did a really good job. She killed 2. So roll the d20 and consult the table. Basically on a 3 or less there are reinforcements. So I rolled an 18, which means that they do not reinforce. So then I roll for the Urgles, and I consult the behaviour table. So I pick an Urgle. Specifically, I pick the one that's closest to us. This guy is closest to him. This guy is closest to her. So we'll start off with this Urgle. So what we do is we look at the table, and we go left to right and apply the first one that makes sense. So the Urgle is not hidden, because it can be seen by explorers. Piceborn here can see the Urgle. We then have engaged. Are they adjacent? No. Are they close? Yes. So I roll a d20 and consult the table. So that is a 5. What does that mean? That means close. 4 to 6, fall back. So it will try and run away. It will try and get as far as possible from us. Trying to be out of line of sight if it can. So I suppose it will go there, because that's as far as it can from Vaughn and the Kroot. We then roll for the next one. We consult the table on him. 16. That is a charge. So what that means is they make a move action and then attack, and if they're not in combat after that move, they move again. So this Urgle's going to go 1, 2. Its movement is 3, so it can go up to 3 hexes. It then attacks. All the hostiles have the same sort of stat sheet. They roll a d8, but they have frenzied, which means they roll 3 attacks whenever they attack. So the Urgle is going to pounce on Piceborn. So the first 2 attacks, and then I roll the third one because there's only 2 dice. I'll roll it here. Okay, I rolled off camera naturally. That's a success and a success. And then the third attack is a fail. So we have 2 regular successes. I then roll on Piceborn's defense. She has 2 successes to roll against. I can roll them together because they're the same result. Face your foe. That's a fail and a fail. That is not good. So that means I have 2 wounds on Piceborn. So I put these tokens over the boxes that she has for her dice. So that effectively means that she has 2 less actions. And that is the hostiles. Okay, so I thought about what Dire Greg can do. Now, Greg has set up a trap here. The hope was this Urgle would run forward and trigger the trap and die. That did not happen. And if anyone walks on the trap, it activates. It doesn't matter if it's the crew or not. So, what we're going to do is going to spend a couple of move actions to go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. The crew having movement of 3. Now, I have checked. The crew can see that Urgle without cover. It's very close, but he can do it, because there's this little open gap here at the throne, because he is on a throne. I don't know why that Urgle's decided to jump over a throne, but that's what he's decided to do. So, I'm going to spend a 6 to fire his Kroot rifle at him. So, at the range of 2 to 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, depending on how you want to look at it, it's a blue dice. So the Kroot gets a crit, killing the Urgle. Next, he has a 5 and another. He has the 5 in Destiny pool and number 6. Now I've decided what I want to do is I want to spend the 6 to plant a second trap. He gets 3 of these per combat, which is plenty. And that will be the Kroot's turn. So the Kroot rolls for his inspiration point. Now the Kroot has a special rule where he doubles the number of wounds he inflicts. So, does he get anything fancy? He rolls a 6. So because of that special ability of him being a Kroot, he gets an inspiration point. Good job, Kroot. You do it. You killed that Urgle. You eat that. You have fun with that meal. And I will be back once I've figured out what I want to do with the robot. The robot couldn't really do anything with the dice that he had available, because the problem with the robot is, as good as the robot is, he's very slow. So I just moved him to next door to the lift, because, we need to get here. And the robot's slow, so I might as well get him there now. However, there is still something important to do. I now have to roll for the event, because we have finished the entire round. So what I do is I roll a d20 and consult the table on the event chart. I got a 10. That means changing conditions. So what I do is I draw a encounter card and look to see if there is a twist, which is basically if there's a bit of text that says, do this. So we have Traitor Guardsman, Endless Horde, reroll reinforcement rolls if hostile reinforcements fail to arrive. So that's not good, but we are next door to the lift, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I will come back to you at the top of the next round. Alright, so having consulted what dice I've got and what the initiative is, we're going to have a bit of fun and we're going to actually grab some loot this turn. So I'm going to start off with the Rattlings. I'm going to use a 6 to go whee all the way to this token. So, as long as you are on a token and there is no enemies next to you, which there are not. So, what we're going to do is we're going to spend the 4 on here, because why not, we spent the 6 already, to loot this item. So, what we do is we remove the token, and we draw the top card of the Discovery deck. And it is Archaeotech 1, so it is a item of value 1, basically, which is important for when we go back to the space station. I'm then going to spend the 6 from the Destiny pool that we have to grab hook all the way back here. So he's just going to go zip, and he is there. But we're still not done, because his brother's still over there. So, we're then going to spend our 1 to move this guy to. I'm going to spend a 5 to double team. Rouse can't see anything, so it doesn't really matter for him, but we're just going to move another 2 to here. Yeah, we're going to spend the 1 off the Destiny pool to go 1, 2, and end our move there. Okay, so once again, the robot's going to have a bit of a boring turn. The Spinel Drones did not reinforce. So this robot's just going to spend one of his actions. He's going to spend, I don't know, one of the 4s to move up to there. He's then going to spend another 4 to take this item, whatever it may be. It's more money! Money's always good. I'm then going to spend a 5 to move him under. And then I'm going to spend the final Destiny dice to go. Boop. Yeah, I need everyone. I'm going to get everybody in the lift this turn. I think we're just going to leave that Urgle. We're just going to leave him alone. It's fine. He won't fall for the trap at all. He'll be fine. And then it's Pyres Born. So I already know what Pyres Born's going to do. Pyres Born's 2 dice. She's movement free. So she's going to spend the first dice going 1, 2, and then 3 to get into the lift. So we can leave. But she's then going to spend her second action making a vitality roll. So what this is this is a d8 for her. So I roll a d8. If I roll a crit, she heals 2 wounds. Now this is one of the few situations where a crit doesn't mean 3, it means 2. So she has 2 wounds on her. She does not heal. She has an inspiration. I'll look up to see if she can use it to reroll that. If she can, I will. Okay, I have checked, and you can reroll it using that. And I still fail. I have rolled to see reinforcements. They did not arrive. So what does the Urgle do over there? Anything? 15! Oh boy, is that probably something. 15 whilst. He's not hidden, he's not engaged, he's definitely not close. He is other, which is a rush. So that is a unique action for them, which is they move and then charge. So, he will go towards the closest explorer, the crew. Some people will see what's going to happen. 1, 2, 3. He then moves again, he then charges. 1, 2, hits the mine and explodes, killing him. As it's an automatic critical hit. Goodbye. So that was the entirety of his turn. And then the crew's got enough dice to basically leave. And that is the combat. So I will come back to you after the post-combat sequence. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a name. Okay, so here we are in the next part of the exploration step. All this in-between stuff is called the exploration step. So the first thing that we do is we roll for recovery. So any fighters that were taken out of action, we roll to see if they die or not. No one's taken out of action. We then roll for everybody that was injured to see if they heal. Only Pious Born was injured, so we roll to see if she gets anything back. She rolls a crit, so she is back to full health. We then swap around leader. Doesn't really matter here, but we'll say that the robot's now the leader, because why not? And then we decide if we want to continue or not. Now, there are certain conditions that force us to continue to go back to the base. Namely, out of cards, and someone dies. Neither of those have happened, and no one's injured. So I'm going to choose to continue, and we will draw the next exploration step, which is a challenge. Masterful agility. Only the most agile of explorers can seize this prize. So I deal out a discovery card for each explorer and place them face up in a row. In leader order, each explorer can attempt to take one of the cards. In order to take an Archaeotech card, the explorer must take a number of agility rolls equal to the card's value and not fail any of them. In order to take a clue, they must make 3 agility rolls. If an explorer fails any of the rolls, they suffer 1 wound for each roll that they failed. What cards do we draw? So, we have got, it's for each explorer? Yes, so for the robot's looking for a clue. So he has to make 3 successful agility rolls for this. That's a real shame, because this is really good, and the robot, as you can imagine, isn't very agile. So we're not going to do that for the robot. The robot is declining. We'll then go with Pious Born, why not? She's impetuous, she wants to go next. Archaeotech 1. So I will attempt this. So, to get that, she needs to roll a success on a d8. Yeah, her agility is a d8. She gets it, so she gets this money. Hooray, as I knock over the robot. Yay. The Ratlings. What do the Ratlings want to try and find? Archaeotech 1. Guess what I'm doing? I'm going to try it with the Ratlings as well. Do the Ratlings get their item? No, they take a wound instead for their arrogance, I suppose. Next is the Kroot. And what is the Kroot looking for? Archaeotech 1 again. Well, he's also a D8, yep. Yeah, he gets his money. Yeah, and with that, we're just gonna continue. Do the Ratlings heal? They roll a D8 for this. Yes. I'll say the Ratlings are the next leader. And the next card will be... a combat. Well, this is awful. So, because it's probably difficult to see, we've got ghouls in one, we've got guardsmen, we got some zappy cultists, and we got more guardsmen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set ourselves up a little trap here. Now, we've got this hex here, and this is the hex that allows us to go in and out. So you'll see these purple hexes. The purple hexes cannot be moved through. Now, for some reason, it doesn't give us an exit point. I'm going to assume that there's meant to be one there. I'm assuming there's meant to be like 2, but whatever. So you can't go through those walls. So that's the only exit point. So my thought process is that, well, the Kroot has a mine. So I think the Kroot's going to have to go 1, 2, 3 and place themselves a little mine here. Yeah, so I'll be back with whoever's going first in the first round of combat. Alright, the game plan is I'm going to set up traps down here, delete them, and then just see what happens. So, Diet Gret going first. What we're going to do is we're going to spend, we'll say the 2 off the board, because why not, as my knee goes bang. I don't know if you heard that. It's going to go there. And then we're going to spend one of our 6s to place a little trap. And then I'm going to start saying hello to these guys over here. So the group's going to go 1, 2, 3 with his second actual usage of his dice. It's going to start stabbing. We're going to start with this guy who has a close combat weapon. Alright, we do nothing. Good job. That didn't work. We'll try it again. We did a wound. Okay. The recruit's apparently not very good in combat. And then... Oh, do we use that last 6? Who else needs it? Does the robot need it? The robot won't make it anyway, so we'll use last dice on there to try and kill the sergeant. Not the sergeant, the punching dude. We did it. We got a success and a failure rolling off the table there. So he goes pop. Do we get an inspiration point for killing that one guardsman? Nope. He wasn't that tasty. Then hostiles 3, which will be the cultists? Yes. These fellows here. So, this guy. A 1. Recharge. Remove a wound. He hasn't got a wound. If he doesn't have a wound, treat it as an advance. Is gonna go 1, 2, 3. Now, these guys have a feel no pain like save, so on a 20, he ignores it. He does not. Goodbye, my friend. His friend here. He's going to roll 17. That is hidden charge. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Does he ignore it? No. Goodbye. Already the crew is putting in work. And then the final Zappy for hello is going to roll 5. Oh, he's actually not doing anything. That's the one result that says hold. Nice. We then move on to Hostiles 1, which is the Ghouls. The first speller rolls an 8, whilst hidden is Sneak. So he tries to stay out of line of sight. He can't go anywhere. He's just stood there. Stood there. I can't speak. His friend? In fact, I'm just going to come back with all of these guys. As you can see, not really much happened with those Ghouls. In fact, a grand total of 2 of them moved. So onto the Ratlings. Ryan and Rouse. Now, they rolled exceptionally well for their dice. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the 1 to move the sniper, who was Ryan. 1, 2, because he was in the hex with Fire Lady. He's then going to fire his sniper round of a 6 into the Ghoul. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he rolls blue. So he gets a wound. The Ratling sniper rifle does have a rule where whenever he does a wound, he does an additional wound, which doesn't kill him, but it's nice to know. And with the neck, I'm going to use another 6 to fire again, because they got 3 6s. He gets a wound, which kills him. We then have the last dice, which I will use to move his brother. And that is the Ratling turn. Do they gain an inspiration point? They do, because the Ghouls are 3 wounds. I believe they have 3 wounds, otherwise I missed a shot. They do have 3 wounds. You go, Ratlings. You shoot your sniper rifle. You actually live. Yeah, and then next we will come back with whatever the robot's going to do. Well, I'm continuing to underutilise the robot. Due to his lack of speed, there wasn't really anything I can do, so I decided to put him on Overwatch down this corridor. What that means is basically for the rest of the turn, if anybody comes down through his line of sight, he will shoot at them. We will then move on to Pious-Born, who I actually know will do something. She's going to move to go 1, 2, and then 3 onto where the crew is. We're then going to move again, because she doesn't like being in combat with the Flamer. What I'm then going to do is spend a 6 to Cleansing Flames. Start off with the leader. He is definitely dead. Goodbye. Mr. Grenade Man is dead with a crit. The other one is a failure. I'm going to try and continue to roll actually where the camera's pointing. And the Flamer Man, naturally, right off camera again, is the one that lives. That's annoying. As mentioned earlier, if she kills 3 enemies with a single weapon action, she gets an inspiration point. She did spend her inspiration before, so she's not actually got any left. She's got 1 dice left, which is a 5. I will use that to vindicate a Flamer, the same Flamer Man, because Flamers are dangerous, as she is proving, as she kills the final person. I now need to roll for the inspiration for the Flamer Lady. 8. She killed 3 of them, which is 7 wounds because of the sergeant, so she does not get an inspiration point, unfortunately. Then it's the Hostiles 2 and 4, aka that guardsman and those guardsmen. Starting off with that guardsman, Mr. Lasgun Man. What does he decide to do? 20. Ooh. Ooh, he really liked that squad. He was really good friends with them. That is Fury. So he attacks twice and can reroll fails. Oh, no. Don't upset the guardsmen. I mean, these are guardsmen who abandoned Cadia. So, you know, blame this guy. What does he do? He does a crit. That's a failure, but he rerolls failures. And a regular wound. Fail, sorry. So, does the crew block it? He does not. So he has taken a grievous wound. So the difference between a wound and a grievous wound is that these cannot be healed. I can't remember if I mentioned that earlier, but this is important. So the crew is permanently 1 dice down. That is not very good. I'm going to roll for the other guardsmen off camera because they're probably not going to do anything. Okay, so one guardsman did in fact make it into the corridor with a charge. Now, he's not allowed to act. However, the robot is allowed to overwatch. It did overwatch, so he gets to shoot him with his assault cannon. And it misses. Completely. Alright. Good job, robot. Roll the event on camera since I'm doing it now. 13, I believe that's the lift. Ding. Anyway, I will be back with the next initiative round. So first of all, we're going to spend a double team. We're going to get Ryan here to double team to here. We're then going to have Rouse fire his pistol using that double team, which at this range will be a D6, and he will fire into this poor fellow. He's fine. We're then going to spend a 3 for another double team. Because why not? So, Laz pistol into this guardsman. Or stub pistol, sorry. It fails as I roll way off camera. And over here, at this range, it's a D8. Yep. A crit. Removing the legendary guardsman. We're then going to spend a 4 to fire a sniper rifle round into this guy here. I roll off camera. And actually, but I roll a success. And because it's the rattling sniper, it counts as a second success, killing this guy. It's 1 guardsman from that group down. We have a dice in the Destiny pool, so we don't have enough to loot. So that will be the rattling's turn. Do they gain inspiration point? They do not. And next is a couple of hostile groups. Actually, it's the guardsmen first. They will probably do something. So the guardsmen, do they reinforce? They do. Naturally. So the one guy that we killed is back. He pops up as close as possible to this portal. He's surrounded by Urgles, which doesn't really matter, and he moves up. So there we go, that's the reinforcement. What does Mr. Flamer Man do? 14. He's still hidden. He's going to charge, which is a really bad idea, but maybe he doesn't know how far away the enemies are. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what's around the corner. And he does this. He charges in. He doesn't attack because he couldn't make it in with the initial move, and probably regrets his decision. His friend behind him, Mr. Grenade, rolls a 15. Yep. He reckons he can punch a robot in the face. Lasgun Man. Oh, he really reckons he can punch a robot in the face. He moves and then charges. He can actually do it. Oh, he can do it. 1, 2. He's going to stab him with his bayonet. Ha! Gets the success. Does the robot block it? Yeah, the robot blocks it. And then the traitor commander rolls a 1. He is not liking the sound of what's happening. He sent his men forward to die for the cause, and he realised it's probably a dumb cause to die for. Then we've got hostiles too, so I'll roll to see if they reinforce. They probably won't. They do not. Alright, it's actually quite easy for the crew what he's going to do. The crew's going to be greedy. So he's going to spend his 1 to grab the loot, to go there. Going to spend a 4 to loot. The crew will find a clue. It's what we've always wanted. And then just move off. Well, it's now time for the killbot to do what the killbot does best. I mean, so far he hasn't done anything.
Maybe he's reached his predisposed kill limit. So let's see what happens. Now he's got 3 actions, and he's got 3 enemies directly in front of him. And he's got a very nice orange claw he wants to introduce them to. So, against the Flamer Man. Yeah, he's dead. Okay. Against Grenade Man. He's also dead. And against Mr. the Lasgun. He is also dead. Killbot doing great. I haven't spent that 6 in that Destiny pool. Think he's got his assault cannon. His Mark 1 assault cannon that's at optimal range to shoot that Urgle. So with a 6+, because that's what we have there, he does a crit, and nothing. Technically it's 3 individual shots, however, it can't target anything else, because it targets either anything in the hex or in an adjacent hex, but there's nothing there. So he definitely kills this Urgle. Does he get an inspiration point? He does. Killbot's happy about his kills. That's everyone got an inspiration point, but nothing really to do with them. Oh dear. So next we have got the Zappy Boys. Well, it did as predicted, and it just charged in, but didn't quite get into combat range. It was just too far away. Could get to me, but not fast enough to actually fight me. Pius Vaughn is going to go 1, 2, 3 with her. 1. Yeah, she's got 1. And then she's going to use her chainsaw. Requires a 4+. She has a 4 and a 5 that she can do this with. So the first one does a wound. Does it ignore it on a 20? No. And then the second attack does nothing. Good. She has a 2. She can fire a flamer in close range, but it's not very good. Nope. Alright, she uses a wound. Good. Good. I'll roll for the event. Aha! Draw a new effect. Ooh. It's... Ooh, debris. Oh no, this one's really bad for the robot. So, any of these cover tiles, such as all of these right next to the exit. Oh, the robot's really slow. Oh well, we'll get back with this. Alright, so with our new round, it started off with the Urgles, and I rolled them off camera because, as per usual, they haven't really been doing anything. And once again, a single individual has decided to charge forward whilst the other stays behind. So far, every single Urgle group has had one person charge forward, while the rest just sit there. I don't know. They're using wave tactics. Which is very weird. They didn't reinforce. So we have the one guardsman you can actually see. So the very first traitor guardsman all the way down here in the corridor rolled a 9 for their behaviour table, which means that they take aim. Lasgun's D8 every range. Gets a crit. Oh, he's found a weak point. Does the robot block it? He rolls a success, reducing it to a regular wound. His sergeant friend, who I'll roll on camera, rolls a 19. I naturally, of course, said I roll off on camera and then rolled off the camera. Yes, Chad. He's decided that he must have tired, they must be tired now after killing all of his men. Alright, and I'll be back with the robot, who's probably gonna beat up some people. Alright, he's gonna start off by beating up the, using a 2 to beat up the Zappy cultist in front of him. Rolls a crit and a regular success. Does it block the crit? No. Splat. Then with his 6, he's going to start unloading his assault cannon into the Urgle and the traitor sergeant. The first shot into the Urgle, because the Urgle is definitely more dangerous, gets a wound as I rolled just on camera. The second shot rings out, does a wound to the Urgle. Okay. Third shot does a wound to the Urgle. And that's it, thanks to the wound he took. I could try and heal. I've got 1 nice left. Oh, why not? He'll make a heal roll. He doesn't. So we're going to try and roll for a second heal using the 3. No. Good job, robot. So then we got the crew. Spends 1 to move forward. 1, 2, 3. He'll spend his 4 to do the stabs. Gets a success. Spend his 6 to do more stabs. 2 regular successes. So he only does 2 wounds total because you don't take the total, you take the best. So the crit will use the 6 to stab again. Yeah, we got him. Ryan and Rouse, what are they going to do? They've got a bunch of... They got a whole lot of nothing going on. Whole lot of double teaming. Yeah, I suppose they double team. So we go 1, 2, 1 because he can't fit there. Then we double team again to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, why not? We'll fire the sniper into that guardsman. Oh, he took aim. He deserves a good death. I roll a crit, so he gets sniped. And then we have 1 double team left. I feel like we go 1, 1, 2. And start getting ready to go after that loot. And then we got Pious Born, who has lots of movement. And that's all she can really do. Well, she ends up on the loot, but not getting the loot. The robot tried to heal, but, he's making a lot of weird dial-up noises, so nothing happened. He managed to heal the wound eventually, but it took a Destiny dice to do it. He had double 1. What else are we going to do with him? He's going to be the problem when we actually try and get into the lift. So then we've got the Rattling Twins. And yeah, I think we're gonna start off with a good old-fashioned double team. Ryan's going to go forward and Rouse is going to shoot his stub pistol. Naturally, I'm going to roll off camera like an idiot. Does nothing. We're going to spend a 1 to fire one of them. Does a wound. We're then going to double team. It's one after the other. So the first one, stub pistol, does nothing. The second one, stub pistol, does nothing. Oh my goodness, guys. We're going to try again. Stub pistol, nothing. Stub pistol, nothing. You're going to spend the 5 off the Destiny dice. Stub pistol does a wound. Second stub pistol kills him. There we go. We got there eventually. We did it. That was all of their dice and all of the Destiny dice. These purple dice are amazing. Did he get inspiration point? The Rattlings felt like that was a great kill. They were so pleased with that. Then it's a crew. Crew's just going to go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't go in there because it costs... I can't go in that one because it costs 2 to do it. And he's got 1 left. So I spend his final 1 to move in. Fire Lady's going to loot. What's she going to get? A clue. These are what we're looking for. She's got money and a clue. And then she's just going to move. So 1, 2. Can't spend the final 3rd point to move there. Then go 1, 2, and then go 1. I hate the rubble twist. It's the worst. And then the event 8. Changing conditions. Nothing. Good. No event. Alright. I will be back. Well, I thought I'd give a very quick turn overview. One of the Rattlings went there, got a clue. The robot continues to be stuck in the corridor. The crew found a clue there, and nothing reinforced. Absolutely nothing happened beyond that. I'll come back if anything else happens, but I doubt it. Well, ask and you shall receive. I rolled a 1 for the Zappy cultists. Based on initiative, the crew just ran into the lift. Perfectly fine. Hostiles 2 and 1, so the guardsmen and the Urgles didn't reinforce. And then I just roll a 1 and get a bunch of zappy people. Now I've got to do the Rattlings. We're going to start off by using one of the 6s to get the Rattling out of dodge. So we're going to go whee to get to here. Then have Ryan shoot into this cultist who he's in close proximity to. Gets a single success. Does it get blocked? Well, here. Nope. Takes a wound. Oh, that's a... Sorry, that was a 6 to do that, and then a double team. Which technically means that his friend goes there. His brother, sorry. We're going to do it again. 1 doesn't have enough movement to go there, but he will shoot. Getting a critical and something else, a regular. Does it block the critical? A 20... Base, 18, 16. No, dies. That's good. That's very important. Use Destiny Dice 2 to double team. So 1 and 1. We're then going to use another 6 to go whee into the lift. Yeah, we'll double team to here. Because if reinforcements turn up, we don't want them to immediately kill us. So actually, I should have just done that in the first place. So I'll take that back and then shoot him. Shoot the second time into another cultist. Roll off the table. Nothing. Right, Pious Born, she's going to set fire to some people. We'll spend a 1 to try and set fire to both of them. So into the first one, nothing. Into the second one, nothing. She'll use the 3 off the Destiny pool, because why not? First one, no. Second one, no. She'll spend her 4 to chainsaw one of them. No. Chainsaw again. Yes. Does it ignore it? No. Right, she has 2 chainsaws left. So, first chainsaw. Crits. I probably got that wrong, and if I have, then I apologise. I'm technically cheating. Dead. I think I'm remembering that right. I could be wrong, though. And then, she'll have a Destiny dice left. And then the robot's gonna robot. We left him the 2 moves. So 1, 2, and then a 1, a 1, a 1, and a 1, 2. The robot does get in. Alright, and we are back, and not much really happened that last round. I decided to skip that entire last round. Skip. I'm not gonna put it in the video. I mean, because literally nothing happened. No enemies reinforced, and we were pretty much at the door anyway. So all we did really was we just left. The only person who is injured is the crew, and honestly, I feel like we're okay. I feel like we can carry on. So I'm going to draw the next card and see what we are doing. It's going to be a challenge. Shadow Ambush. Oh, this doesn't sound good. The explorers split up and search a chamber. Well, already, this is our fault. We split the party. You never split the party. To search for a chamber and are suddenly attacked from the shadows by a group of ghouls. So we'll just go left to right, because it's easier. So beat boop robot time. He's going to use his power claw. Gets a wound. That's probably not good enough. A wound. The ratlings, they can fire a stub pistol because it's a weapon action, so I can't double team it. That's not good. Gets a crit though. One of them shoots the Urgle in the face and gets rid of him. That's very good. The crew's going to use his pistol and rifle blade, so double purple. Gets a wound. Good. And then Pious Vaughn, who I put her tokens over the thing, rolls a single blue dice of her Vindicator Chainblade. Gets a wound. So the Ratlings, aka the weakest combat fighters of the bunch, somehow roll the best. And now the Urgles attack us back. So into the robot. Gets nothing, because it makes 3 attacks per, and nothing. These purple dice are great. Into the crew. A regular, and a fail, and then the third attack gets nothing. So a wound. The crew rolls a d6 for his defense. Doesn't block it, so the crew's taking a wound. So the crew's not looking too healthy. And then into Pious Vaughn, we have got nothing, and a crit. So that's also not very good. Do we block it? We don't block it. It's not good. Back from the start, we'll start with Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot, please kill that Urgle. Oh, he really kills him. He's not very happy with these things. The Ratling's going to help out the crew. Yeah, they are. Goodbye, crew. As the crew flies away. And then the crew's going to try and kill that last Urgle. And he does. Alright. So, we survived. Vaughn got injured, but we survived. Do we get anything for completing this? Nope. The crew successfully led us into an ambush. Good job, crew. Does the crew heal that wound he took? Nope. Do I take a risk? Do I carry on? Oh, why not? Why not? We'll play risky. It's the first exploration. We'll carry on. It's a combat. Alright, and here we are after setup, and well, this is a bad one. We got Urgles here, one user. We've got Zappy Zaps over there, 4 of them, and then we have the 5 guardsmen. So we've got the pre-game move with the crew. So my thought process is that I just stop these. Because these I've got no protection against. These at least I get something. So I'm going to go 1 to here and place a trap. Like So, and I will be back with whoever's going first on the initiative order, and I really, really hope it's none of them. Alright, so having consulted the initiative track, it's not very good. I'm not a huge fan of it fully. I don't like where the robot is in relation to the rest of us. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to do something that our explorers can do, where they can swap initiative order with each other. They can do that for free with no roll necessary. They can also swap with enemies by rolling an agility test, but that takes up actions which I feel like we need. So what I've done is I have swapped the positions of the robot and the ratlings, on the initiative tracker that is. Now, the crew is not happy about this situation. You know, he's got enemies there, he's probably going to get jumped on. So what I'm going to do, because the robot's very tanky, so I'm going to hide behind the robot. So I'm going to spend his 1 to go 1, 2 to here, to hide with the zealot. And then I'm going to try and heal. And that's a success, so I remove that wound I've taken. Then it's the guardsman. Right, so now the Urgles, with the guardsman having just run forward. Urgle number 1, so this fellow, right there. A 10. Charge! 1, 2, 3. 1. Doesn't actually fight, but gets there. The next Urgle rolls a 9. Yep, while hidden is sneak. 1, 2, 3. Next one, 11. Charge. And then his friend. Charge. That's the Urgles, and now we go on to the Mr. Roboto. And Mr. Roboto really needs to start punching. So, we're going to start punching. Alright, so first punch. Naturally, I roll off camera. Gets a crit. Pop. Second punch, let's try and actually roll where the camera is. A crit. And a nothing. Well, a success, but it doesn't matter. Goodbye. His third dice will be to attack, because he's got 3 dice. A crit. Goodbye. Alright, so he's killed 3 of them. Do you want to do anything else? No, I think if we stay there and just get stuck, we're going to have a problem. So I'm going to spend a 4th Destiny Pool to move him 2. And then we're going to give this last guy the claw. Let's give him the claw. We didn't do anything. Why not? We'll spend his inspiration. Nothing. Alright. I will come back once I figure out what I'm going to do with the ratlings. Alright, so I've come to a conclusion that I definitely need to wipe out the Zappy boys, the Negavolt cultists. So, my thought process is I will do a double team to start things off. And I will move both of them to here. I will then spend a dice off their card, and I'll spend 2 dice off their card to aim and fire the sniper rifle at one of these. So, rolling to see what they do. I get a crit. So, does it block it? They get to ignore on a 20, 18, 16, 14. That's a 7. Pop. Gonna fire another shot into them. An aim and a shot. What do we get? We get a success. So, does it ignore the initial success wherever I put the d20? It's right here. Right in front of me. 11 does not ignore it because it's now on a 16. And then, does it ignore the additional wound from the high impact? It does not. So that's another cultist gone. The ratlings killed 4 wounds worth? Yes. Yeah, of course they're 2 each, because if it wasn't then I'd have got it wrong with those. That's a 4. They did it. They got another inspiration point, which puts them up to 3. So I'm going to spend it to inspire them. So we have the regular side. And then we turn it over to a blue side, which is the inspiration condition. Basically, it makes all their stats better. Well, I'll say all of their stats. It makes most of their stats better. That's inspiration. If I have 3 inspiration points, I can do it, or I can follow their inspiration condition. We then have the Zaps, the Negavolt cultists. So first of all, do they reinforce? On a 20, they do not. So, what does that very first one over there do? A 10. So a 10 is charge. What a shock. So we go 1, 2, 3. Not in combat. And then 1. And triggers the mine. Does he explode on a 20? He ignores it. No. Boop. So then we have got the next one, who will do something else. A 5. That gets removed. Is that a charge by any chance? No, it's the one. It's the only result that isn't charge. Pious Vaughn's really bad dice, and I forgot that she rolled really badly. So I'm going to spend a 1 to move up to here, because we can have, remember, each of these counts as half the rattlings, so effectively we've got 2 there. And then she's just going to use her regular flamer attack, because she doesn't have anything better than a 3, into, we'll start off with the Urgle, because the Urgle is way more dangerous than a single guardsman. We get a wound, and then we're going to do it again. Nothing. So we did a wound. Good job, Pious Vaughan. And I roll the event on camera. Well, you'll now notice that Urgle over there has a friend, because I rolled because 6 is not dead yet, so I bring a hostile back to life as close as possible to a explorer. Alright, I'll be back with the next turn. Alright, and we are back, and we've got an incredibly satisfying 3-2-1 in the middle of that initiative order for the hostiles. So we start off with the rattlings. So we're going to start off with a double team. We're going to have Rhine, the grappling hook, fire the stub pistol first, because we do it one after the other. So the stub pistol does nothing. His brother's going to do the same thing, because it's double team. Nope. Okay, we're going to double team again. Nope. It is still purple. Oh, it's 2 purples. Well, okay, so actually, so this is still the first double team then. We did a wound to the first double team. Okay. Nope, I was right. It's one range it's one at this range. There we go. So that's 2 double teams done. We'll double team with a Destiny dice too. I rolled them together like an idiot. I didn't intend to. I'll just say that they both shot and killed them. We'll spend the 1 off the Destiny pool to move the sniper to here. And then we're going to spend our 2 4s to snipe. So we're looking for... We have aimed, so we ignore the cover. Get a wound. Does it ignore it? No, because it's by itself. Does it ignore the additional wound from the sniper? No. So it is removed. Now it's Pious Vaughan. We need to get rid of these Urgles. We will spend our 6 for Cleansing Flames and get rid of them. So the one who is wounded takes a wound and a crit, so he dies. Oh, there it is. It was right in front of me. And then the second one takes a double... Oh, wow, really dead. Alright, that was good. So that was her 6. So, Pious Vaughan has a special ability called Inferno, which means that she, instead of attacking, she can use a 4+ to set up Inferno markers, which are these little fire things. Anyone that walks into it takes a hit because they're on fire. So I'm going to spend her 4+. I'm going to pick 2 hexes that are visible to her and next to each other. There we go. And then I will then Overwatch. So if any of them survive it, then they take even more fire, because this is what Pious Vaughan do. Did she get an inspiration point for killing those 2 Urgles? A 1, yeah, she does. She's so proud of herself for killing that 1 Urgle. Those 2 Urgles, I mean. Alright, hostiles. 3, 2, 1. So the guardsmen don't reinforce. Starting off with Mr. Grenade Man. What does he want to do? He wants to 14. He's going to charge. So he goes into this hex. So does he cook from the fire? No. But then Pious Vaughan is going to Overwatch him. Does she cook him anyway? She does a wound. Okay. And then he attacks. And in combat, he rolls a d6. Okay, he is really bad in combat. He did nothing. His friend behind him rolls a 19. That's probably charge when hidden. Yep. I'm going to play them as slightly smarter than they are and go 1-2, so he only takes 1 fire hit. Does he die? Nope. He did make it in, so does he stab the Ratling? He does not stab the Ratling. Then we have the Flamer Man, who advances. So he's going to go 1-2. He takes a d8. Nothing. Fires the Flamer, which is a d12. He crits the Rattlings, of course he does. They are d8 defense. Oh, we got another crit. That wasn't the ideal. And then the boss man rolls a 6. Yep. Whilst hidden sneak, so he doesn't want to get... He is smart enough to know to not go into the fire. I'm noticing that all the sergeants are being very cautious. So then it's Greg, who I think needs to get stabbing. Join his rattling friend, and he's going to start stabbing. So we'll spend a 4+ to do it. Yep, I'll say the grenade person, because that's probably what I would have done. And then he's going to spend his 3 to shoot into the guy. He gets a crit over there in the corner, removing him. I still have 1 dice in the destiny pool. So I'm going to move the crew again. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 with the destiny pool. So that the robot has somewhere to actually go. Speaking of the robot, he is going to start his move by spending a 4+ to make his move 2 check out the speed of that robot. Then I'm going to aim and fire the assault cannon at that one poor guardsman in the cover. It is a blue at this range, and because I'm spending a 6 to fire it, he's firing 3 times. Let's see if that guardsman can survive a full assault cannon round. Nope, he definitely cannot, and is turned into a fine red mist. And then what's the event? A 20. Ooh. Lucky find. The leader picks an explorer. That explorer draws a discovery card. Well, right now, the robot's the only one with only 1 discovery card, so we're going to pick the robot. So we have drawn... a clue. Awesome. Okay, so with the initiative order as it is, I'm going to swap Player Spawn and the chicken. Well, the thing is that I kind of don't want to walk through fire. I might like fire, but I don't want to walk through it. So I'm going to activate her first. So remove the fire, because, we want to go that way. She's then going to spend her 1 to go 1, 2. And then she's going to spend the 4 to introduce her new super best friend, totally not a heretic, into her chainsaw. Because she thinks it's a really nice chainsaw. She wants him to acknowledge that. And she fails. So she's going to show him again. Let me just turn it on. Okay, she's going to do nothing again. I'm going to spend that inspiration point because I really don't want to use Destiny on her to do this. Nope. Right, 5 off the Destiny pool. Let's try this again. There we go. Goodbye, sir. You took way longer than you should have done. Does she get a point? She does! Oh, she was super jazzed about that. She gets the point back that she spent. Alright, so what do we want to do with the robot? Well, the robot's got lots of moves. So we're going to spend 1 of his 2s to go boop. I'm then going to spend a Destiny dice, the 1, I guess, to go beep. I'm then going to spend a 5 off his dice, yep, to go beep, boop. And then spend the 6 to go beep, beep, boop. And draw a discovery card for the robot. Another clue. Oh, the robot's finding out everything. He's Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. No. Right, so then we just got to roll for the reinforcements. I'll do this on camera very quickly. No. Yes. Great. That was the second group, so that's group 3. So that's the guardsman, because of course it's the guardsman. I don't know if he gets cover from that. Either way, the robot doesn't gain benefit from cover, because the robot's big. It's a fridge. Fridges don't get cover. I then roll for the actions, because they either immediately shoot or attack. Sergeant at range 2 with his pistol. Nothing. Flamer. That wasn't really a roll. A success. Does the robot block it? No. That's a failure, but I can re-roll it because he's a robot. Nope. So he takes a wound. Grenade Man rolls a purple. Gets a crit, because of course he does. Only when I'm rolling for purple does it not matter. But he blocks it because he's a fridge. Las gun. No. And then Las pistol from the guy who has a club. No. Alright, so that was the reinforcements. Then it's the Crute. I already know what the Crute's going to do. So we're going to spend a 1 for him to move on to the loot. Going to spend his 5 to loot the loot. Oh, what's he got? It's money. And then we're just going to move again. 1, 2, 3. We'll just end it there. So I'm going to have to figure out what the rattlings want to do, because we suddenly have a problem. Okay, so the rattlings are pretty easy actually to figure out. So first of all, because there's still one destiny dice left, which I can use to aim. So we're going to start off with a double team. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then a 1, 2. That's spending a 3. We're then going to spend the last destiny dice to fire the sniper rifle. I cannot talk apparently. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 2d8. I'm going to shoot at the flamer because he is more dangerous than the sergeant. I did aim. I get a crit and a success, so that kills the flamer. And then we're going to... We can't aim with the next one. And it will fire at the grenade man because he is also dangerous. A success, but he's in cover, so it fails. And then the event is a 5. So, hey, do you remember that flamer guy we killed? Well, for the sake of ease, we're just going to bring him back here. Okay, and we are back with the new round. It's pretty good initiative, just not very good dice for the most part. We have things we can do. We're going to start off with the reinforcement roll. Assuming there's no reinforcements, are okay. So do they reinforce? No, they do not. And then I can roll for Pious Born. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 with a 1+ action. We're then going to spend the 6 off the Destiny pool to try and Inferno the 2 fellas here. Double blues. What do we do to the sergeant? I naturally roll off camera, but we get a crit and a regular. Goodbye. Then the second attack. That's a success, and naturally the other one off the table is a crit. I swear I'm not doing this intentionally. I'm just an idiot. So then we got, that was the 1 and the 6. So I will use her 2 to indicate a flamer that group. So the lasgun guy, of course, gets a regular. And then the other guy gets nothing. And then she's got a last dice. So, lasgun guy, there we go. And then that's lasgun guy who dies because he already took a wound, and the other guy gets a regular wound as well. Alright, so we're just gonna have wounds floating. Okay, so swinging on over to the crew. The crew has his target. And the crew's gonna go 1, 2, 3. He doesn't quite reach the loot. Then he's gonna grab the loot, and then he's gonna loot the loot. What does the crew discover? Money! After the crew, it's then see if we get any more webway penetrators. I believe Urgle's a webway penetrators, remembering if the lore serves me well. 13, that is not a thing. Then we got the robot, who's gonna, robot. He's only got 2 actions because, he was hurt. We're gonna start off, though, by giving him the claw. Killbot is going to get a crit. Remove you. I didn't roll for Pious Born's inspiration, did I? She killed 7 worth. Yeah, you go, Pious Born. There we go. And then the robot's just gonna shoot his assault cannon twice. Because even though he's in cover, all he needs is a single crit, and he's dead. Yep. Do we get a point? A 4? Yes, because he killed the guardsman as well, going up to another second inspiration point. Yeah. The rattlings have a bunch of 4+. So, we're going to double team. We're going to double team again. And then we're going to call our lift. And I'll be back. Well, actually, I'll roll to see if the guardsmen reinforce. Of course they do. The crew might have gone a little bit greedy. This is not good at all. Alright, so the starting off with Flamer Man, because they all immediately shoot. That's a crit, that's not good. The crew rolls a d6, because the crew doesn't really wear armour. He turns it to a regular wound. Well, what about the grenade guy? How does he do? He gets a success. Does the crew block it? Of course not. Las pistol from the sergeant. Rolled a crit. Does the crew block it? No, of course he doesn't. Oh, we're going to spend his inspiration on that. We can't have another. Nope. Okay, he's now full. Good start. Lasgun guy. Nothing. And Las pistol guy. Nothing. Well, this isn't good. What's the event? Maybe that'll save him. 11. That's the lift, isn't it? Yep. Good event. Alright, I'll be back with whatever we do next. We need to leave immediately. Now, the initiative order that I drew, that is currently on the screen, before I modify anything, is bad. The guardsmen are going before the crew, and whilst the Vaughn may be able to help, it's not really good. We also have a really bad destiny pool. So he has to use destiny pool, and we only have 1 dice left, and he can't actually get into the lift. So, we're going to use a couple of things. First of all, the Crute and Pious Born are going to swap, because Pious Born's the only person who's going first, and they can see each other. Next, I'm going to use one of my ships. Because remember, we have these, and these are really useful. So I'm going to use the Long Hauler Gamma Free Beta. That allows me to, once per expedition, after making a destiny roll, choose to keep all the duplicates, which means that we have at least 2 dice. So first of all, though, I have to roll to see if Group 2 reinforces, which they do not. Right, now I'm going to activate the crew and run to this corner, because that's the safer corner. Okay, having run away there, we then need to roll to see what the guardsmen do, because they could still cause problems. Flamer Man! He's not in cover, he's not close, he is other, so he's going to aim. Okay. He's not in range to fire with his flamer. So he moves. Okay, 1, 2. That was a lot of reading to find out he just moved. Grenade Man, 11. Aim. He's going to aim the grenade. Rattlings are visible, so he's got to shoot the rattlings because they are the closest. What does he do? Gets a success. Does the rattling block it? He does. Then we've got the sergeant who does whatever that is. That's aim again. He's going to aim his last pistol at the rattling. Does it? Does the rattling block it? He does. Lasgun guy. 20. Fury. So he shoots twice and rerolls fails, so into the rattling. He does nothing, but he can reroll both of these. I'm rolling them both together. And then the last pistol dude. 15. Gonna shoot twice with his last pistol. Get him! Does the rattling ignore it? Yep. They're just making us leave. They're like, this is our home, please leave. Please, just leave. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. And that is it. And we are not carrying on. The crew is really badly injured. Everyone's got a big wound, apart from the robot. Yeah, I think we're going to go back to Precipice. And we have now returned to Precipice. So this step is where we do basically all of our backlog stuff, all of our bookkeeping and various other things. So the first thing that we do at Precipice is we fulfill the legacy step. What the legacy step is it's representing the fortress awakening more and more resources. It's getting more aggressive. It's trying to stop us as we reach closer to the centre. Now what this means is we draw from a deck of cards. And what happens is, depending on what the legacy card is an effect that applies to the fortress. So the first legacy for us is New Threat, Chaos Space Marines. So what this means is we will now actually be encountering Chaos Space Marines in the fortress. So I add them to the combat encounters. Yeah, this isn't very good. So then the next thing that we do is we do the trading step. Now what this means is we have to buy stuff from our ships. Now as mentioned, throughout the quest we've received Archaeotech. So in this case the Crute has got, for example, 3 Archaeotech cards. All of which are Archaeotech value 1, which you can see at the bottom there. The Piceborn has 1, the robot has 1, and the Rattlings also have 1. Now what we do is we shuffle these decks. These are resource cards. There is 1 for every ship. And what we do is we draw 3 cards from the resource deck. And this is what is for sale on those ships. Now every ship has their own facility that I may use before I buy things. So at the Long Hauler, we have available to buy a Scryer Skull, homing rounds, and explosive ammunition. At the Clarion, which is the ecclesiarchal ship, we have got Incantation Boost, Incantation Stun, And resolve is the final one. We're taught prayers, apparently, which makes sense. The church is teaching us prayers. Who'd have thought it? At the Crav Chateau, a trophy, which is a Morgoth Burncaster, Hiskian Sin Injector, the Antidil Orb, and then finally at the Steed, we've got Rune of the Laughing God, Rune of Cain, and Shuriken Discs. So the way that this works is each explorer can go to one ship. A ship cannot be sent. You cannot go to a ship that someone else has gone to, and you can buy things. If it is your ship, you get a discount. Everything's reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1. Okay, so I've looked through and I've decided what I'm going to do. Now, slight correction. I misspoke when I mentioned trading on your own ship. It's not that you count everything as 1 lower. It's you get 1 additional resource card. 1 additional value. The crew is first of all going to spend on his ship. So I'm going to buy both of these because he's got 4. These are worth 4. So next we have the Rattlings. Now I'm going to use their facility. So what I do with a facility is I follow whatever it says. Now in their case I roll a d20. Consult the table. Now if it's your ship you tend to be able to re-roll the result. A 13. On an 11 plus, the explorer receives a randomly chosen Architect card from the Discovery deck. So they get Architect 1. So they have 1 additional value. So I'm going to spend the 1 that I get for being my ship and 1 of these to buy the Scryer Skull and Homing Rounds. We then have the Clarion. She has 1. She has her additional 1. So I'm going to buy Resolve, which gives her a free move. I'm going to choose to use her facilities. So on a 16 plus I receive a clue. A 17, a clue is given to her, so I will grab that in a moment. And then the robot can't buy anything on that ship, but I'm going to use the facilities. He has 2 clues, so on a 1 or a 2, he gains another 1. He does not. And that is the end of the expedition. And there we have it, the very first exploration in Blackstone Fortress complete. Did pretty well. We got some good loot, we got some scary moments, some pretty good moments, and at the very end we encountered more Chaos Space Marines. Thank you for making it this far in the video. I appreciate these videos can be a long time watching. I would appreciate any feedback you can give me so we can improve the video for future episodes. The plan is that I'm going to add a different explorer every week until we've got the core 8 finished, and then I'll do the expansions as we get to them. If you have any specific explorers you want to see next time, I'll jump them ahead of the painting queue so that I can try and get those in for you. So, until next time, stay optimistic and most importantly, stay safe. Bye for now.